I made a website in 6 hours and won first place and $100 in a coding competition, all while having learned how to code off of YouTube. So this is what I've learned. First of all, I learned is that there's no need to master all programming languages, which is something that might be specific only to me, but nonetheless. So in this hackathon, the goal was to create the best app possible, and there was like judges, multiple qualification rounds, and app requirements of what you had to have in the end. Now, of course, for this competition, you need to have the right skills prepared to build the app. But before the competition, as I was learning how to code off of YouTube, I wanted to like first understand Python, then go to C++, then go to like Java and master app development, then machine learning, then data analysis, and just all of these different things. Yet there's no need to do all of that. I can just get good at one tech stack, and there wasn't even a need to do that in the hackathon, right? I just used my app development skills. I didn't employ data analysis in the creation of a website, right? And so I don't know how applicable this is to you, but at least for me, before I wanted to master everything, and I still wanted to for a long time to master like C++ and all of these different things, but I just said to myself, forget about it. Just sit in one area, like app development or something like that, and use your skill set for that. Your skill set will eventually expand as you naturally step into different areas. There's no need to stuff your brain with just infinite knowledge for the areas that you're not getting involved with. That might sound like common sense, but to me it wasn't, at least. So, because to me at least, becoming the human Wikipedia, which means mastering literally everything, is not necessary, especially for building some app. The second thing I learned is about learning as you build. Now this may seem like very obvious and common advice that you'll hear, but for me it was really such an ego boost when I realized, oh wow, the knowledge that I've been learning off of these YouTube tutorials actually employed itself, and it was effective and more effective than the competition's apps that they built. See, this coding competition was hosted by a computer science academy, and I was enrolled in it at the time, and so was some portion of the participants in the competition. And so to some extent they probably expected, okay, you'll probably use the concepts that we taught you, right? You use JS, you make a static website, you don't worry about databases. And so I felt like a genius when I realized, wow, I can actually create accounts and store them in databases and create data structures that are more complicated than what they taught, because I had learned how to do this because I was implementing those features into my own app that I was building in my own spare time, unrelated to the competition. And so naturally, in this little hackathon, it was very, very simple to get ahead because I just knew things that were more complicated than what has been taught. Now, of course, I still don't know if somebody else had databases, and so the point is, just Google it. ChatGPT, it doesn't matter. Just build, continue building. Once you get to a point where you don't know how to implement a feature, just Google it, ask some AI, done. Right? Like there's no need to master all of Flask. There's no need to master all of Django either. Just make the sign up form, bro. And so this is for me because for some time I would actually sit down and have full study sessions of like, okay, I'm going to explore this, and I would rarely use the information that I would consume. Like there would be some machine learning course or app development course, right, that you would find online. And to be honest, eventually I just got lazy and I just threw that study habit into the trash, and I just started Googling and ChatGPTing things as I went. Now ChatGPTing things actually went bad for me later on, but we don't talk about that. It worked to expand my experience, my skills in coding. That way I get focus skills. Skills that are good specifically for the thing that I'm developing. So yeah, learning as you build, probably the most obvious thing you've ever heard in the world, but it's very effective. Number 3 is something that you've probably heard of, but it's called Parkinson's Law. So this hackathon thing took multiple days, right? And each coding session would be multiple hours. And what I realized is that in those 6 hours, I actually made more progress on building a website than in multiple weeks of building my own app, my own website that I was doing separately. So I know you like to procrastinate. I mean, you're watching this video right now, but if you create a stricter deadline on your own app, then you're more likely to finish it and still meet the same kind of high quality design or whatever that you wanted it to be in the end. And I did set a deadline to myself that was fairly strict, but I still took 6 months to complete it, and I didn't even complete it, I just quit it. So hopefully that was helpful for you, even if just a little bit. If you're building an app on the side though, and you don't want to end up quitting like me, and I quit like 4 or 5 different projects, then try Stellar AI. Link in the description for free, but not forever.